Greetings. My name is Heidi Carter with the California ISO Customer Readiness Group, and thank you for joining me in today's brief video where I'm going to be pointing out a couple of changes that are being made to our automated dispatch system, our ADS system, as part of the enhancement process of our operating systems improvement project. And this is all part of the independent release 2022, which many of you may have been following along with in our release user group and also our technical user groups. So in this presentation, I'm going to be taking you through what is changing in ADS as part of these enhancements, what the associated timelines are for the unstructured market sim and for production date, as well as for links to documentation where you can find more information. So there are two enhancements that are pretty straightforward that are being made to ADS as part of this process. Each of these are intended to increase tool usability. First is the ability to update and override existing configurations. And the second is to add some visual updates to the instruction grid, as well as some advanced filtering. So let's take a look at both of these. So the first enhancement we're going to be exploring is the ability for you, the ADS user, to be able to update and override existing display profile configurations that you've created. So much like today, in order to start in ADS, you will have this main ADS page. And from here, you can click on the Configurations tab to access your private display profile. Once you're in the Configuration section, this allows ADS users to view, to load, delete their private display profiles. But now with this additional update, you are also have the ability to update your private display profiles using an override setting. So currently, you have that ability to view, to load, and delete your profiles. And today, as it stands, in order to load a template, you would click the load button and then make your changes, click the load button, can close the configuration windows, and then you would click the refresh button within the ADS user interface, the UI. So it's very important to make sure that you're clicking that refresh button in order to make sure that those changes are now reflected for you. What is changing, however, are updates that allow you, the user of ADS, to be able to update or override this existing configuration. And you can do that more quickly and efficiently using the override button without the need to create a whole new template or a new profile. Again, this is an enhancement that was requested by several ADS users. And so we've tried to accommodate that to make sure, again, to increase that usability for our customers to be able to make these kind of changes more efficiently. So once you've made these edits to a current template, and that might be changes to your filtering for adding columns or reducing your number of columns, etc., you're then going to be able to click that override button to save the changes. Once you've clicked that override button, you're going to see a pop-up alert that is going to display asking you to confirm those changes. By clicking on OK, you have now made these changes permanent. You cannot undo that and go back to the previous configuration. It is now going to be able to display the changes that you've made, and those will remain until you make future changes. For our second enhancement, this is where we're going to be exploring the ability for you, the end user, to view a new color scheme for commitment instructions. So here is a breakdown of some of the rows that you would see that are capturing uh, your different commitment instructions. So the information is not changing. The data, the way that this information is calculated or grabbed, that's all going to be the same. The only thing that's changing is the increase of visual awareness tools that will make it a little easier for the viewer to quickly identify where resources are in their instructions. Some of you who've used other applications for the ISO have already seen these colors, and so we're just expanding that to make it more consistent. So the newest colors that are associated to the different instruction types are as followed. Anytime a resource in real time is getting a startup instruction, those instructions, that instruction type will show up in green. And every item that's available, the data items that are available in that row will show up in that same color. For any resources that have received an instruction to shut down, they will see those in orange. And for any MSGs, our multi-stage generators that have been given instructions to transition from one configuration to the next, those will be received in yellow. Again, it's important to note that these changes are all reflected in real time. Those will not be saved. If you go back and look at if you do any queries for data from previous days, this color scheme will not be that will not be reflected. It's strictly a real-time visual aid. So in order to make sure that you can visualize these changes once we've made the changes in the different environments, such as stage and especially production, you're going to need to go into your browser and clear your cookies, clear your cache. So go to your browser settings, clear that information, and then commitments will display with these colors. We'll start displaying that. But if you don't clear your cache, then it's going to look, feel, act all the same. And once you've cleared that cache, now it's going to do exactly the same thing. However, you're going to be able to see those colors reflected. An additional feature that is part of this enhancement for ADS is that now there's going to be advanced filtering that is part of the instruction grid for you. So a lot of the same functionality filtering that you've had just allows you to drop down into more detail to get more filtering complexity so that you can get more granularity in your reporting, in your filtering. So what is the timing of this? Some key dates that you have been need to be aware of. So here we have the implementation guideline that takes you from when that external business requirement specification was posted. Unstructured market simulation is currently active, and there are biweekly market sim meetings that you can attend on Mondays and Thursdays that you'll be able to ask more information about. And then product um, Production activation is scheduled to be effective on October 27th. So a send grid message is going to be sent to all of the ADS registered users once this change it is being made, and it will allow for the users to understand the timeline and when they should be able to go back into, for instance, update, by clearing their cache, when they can go in and start using the override button to make changes to their template. So that is scheduled to go October 27th, and we will keep you posted as part of our customer readiness, outreach to let users know when these are, what time they're officially available. Where can you go to find more information? We have a couple of links. The ADS user guide reflects the new changes, as well as additional documentation on the ISO's developer site. The user guides are on our website. Those are available publicly, but in order to access any technical documentation that is part of our customer, that's more technical, developer site does require a password initially to get in there. We do ask that you share this information with others in your organization to ensure that, especially to any of your ADS users, but also your support staff, to make sure that these changes are incorporated in any perhaps documentation you have, any uh, training that you may have, etc. So we do again ask you to share this within your organization. I want to thank you today for your participation and listening in. And if you have any questions about any, information that you'd like more details about, more, maybe additional links to point you to information, etc., please don't hesitate to reach out to our customer readiness at caiso.com. That is, again, the group that I work in. You can also always log city tickets through our city system if you have access to that. But again, if you have questions, please let us know. We love to hear from you, and want to be there to help you as much as we possibly can. With that, I'm going to conclude this training. Thank you again very much for joining me. Have a great day.